Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you would like to know about the decks that I am using, they are all located in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Let's actually just give the bull a little ring. As we do so, Sagittarius, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And then let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Sagittarius, September 16th to 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. September 16th to 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. September 16th to 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Ooh, okay. Fantastic. You had a whole bunch of chakra cards coming out. So you have 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So let's start here with inspiration. This is the sacral chakra. Now the sacral chakra is where a lot of negativity is held from this life and from past lives. So as you are releasing that negativity, as you are finding yourself inspired, as you are finding yourself guided forward, you're going to see that you're really stepping into a power you thought you lost. And you're stepping out of a darkness that you thought would be around you forever. And this is a sense of finding your voice, knowing your power, and knowing yourself. Now this can be negativity from a past life, but it can also be negativity inherited from your DNA line, right? Your family saying, oh, we always have this struggle. Oh, it's always going to be like this. Hearing that growing up, it takes root inside of you. And so here, as you embrace a new dawn and a new day, you embrace a new form of inspiration. You embrace a new way to move forward in your truth and in your power. As you do so, you have balance coming in. This is the root chakra. You're finding balance within yourself, balance with what you desire. You are finding balance is your root during this time, the balance of masculine and feminine energy, the balance of your truth and your desires, the balance of the way that you are moving forward. This then leads you to divine inspiration. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. This is a sense of the divine guiding you. Sagittarius, you are a naturally, astoundingly curious person. And so here you're going to find that curiosity piqued even more. You're going to find that you are drawn to certain things, certain people, certain words, certain places, certain ideas that absolutely speak to your soul. This is going to be a time of inspiration, moving you, divine wisdom, guiding you to a place that you hadn't really anticipated being, or you didn't think that you could really inhabit, because it's opening up such a world for you. And as this world is opened up, meditation is going to be really important. This is looking at the energy that crowns you, your crown chakra, with your thoughts, with your ideas, with the way that the mind works, and how chaotic or how peaceful that mind is. So with the crown chakra and with meditation, it can be very useful to meditate. All right? Now, whether your meditation being going for a walk or whether your meditation is sitting quietly, that's completely up to you. The meditation here connects you with your heart, opens your mind, frees you, helps you to move forward in a way that you hadn't expected, and lets you see things more openly and more honestly. It's that connection between the heart and the mind that is so terribly important, because we are emotional beings. And as emotional beings, we need to connect with our logical side, most definitely, but we also need to know what our emotions mean and how they guide us forward. So here in meditation, you're going to be seeing that. And with the crown chakra, I love what Spirit has been showing me. It's like, what crown are you wearing? Right? Is it a crown of anxiety, doubt, fear? What does it look like? Is it a crown of beauty, of hopes, of dreams, of possibilities? Because this crown moves you forward. This crown is your mantle of being. What is your crown? And how are you shaping that crown to be worthy of you? You know, to be your truth and your power, and to be your portion of the divine, there we go, that you were born into. Your portion of the divine that exists inside of you. This then leads you to the inner child. This is the heart chakra. Now, I love if you just take a moment to visualize your inner child, okay? Your inner self, you when you were little, and the world was huge and filled with endless possibilities, right? But it could also have been scary. And no matter if you had the most beautiful childhood in the whole entire realm of childhoods, and most of us haven't, right? It is bending down, opening up your arms, and saying to your inner child, to you, I love you, I am there for you, I will always believe you, and I will always fight for you. And it's telling your inner child that the grown-up you are today will always be there for who you once were, and the fears that you carry from when you were small to now. The left-hand side here is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side is the public arena, your public self. We start here with the King of Coins, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, prosperity, bounty. You then have the Emperor, Aries energy, coming in a time frame of March 21st to April 19th. The Two of Coins, there's a lot being balanced. There's a lot of power to you too. And it can be balancing that power with the responsibilities that you have, the caring, the nurturing that you want to do. Five of Cups. Change your mind, change your life. Things are not black and white. You know, white page, black print. Everything has to be just like this. And it's also saying, know that the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointments, they come. They always come. They're a part of existing. Turn around. See the Two of Cups that lays behind you. See the loving, healing light that is a part of you. It leads you to the sun. It leads you to your heart being blessed and your soul being powerful. The Seven of Coins. Be patient. Be patient as you embrace this power. You then have the Two of Cups that's coming forward loud and clear in your inner self. Okay? This is what you're working towards. You're working towards this love. You're working towards this connection. You're working towards this understanding. And it brings you to judgment. Okay? It brings you to your angels rising you up. Raising you up. It brings you to a beauty and to a peace, to a power, to a place that is gorgeous. Judgment is a beginning of a journey. Judgment is the seeing of truth. Judgment is a resurrection of self. And your heart is rising again after healing. And leads you to the Hermit, Virgo energy, a time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd, inner peace. You're going to find that this is a time where you are much more introspective. You are much more kind of connected with your inner self. Also, this reading is from the 16th to the 30th. So from the 16th to the 22nd, this is going to be a time where you feel even more kind of introspective, even more connected with your inner self. The 9 of Cups, beauty, prosperity, bounty, gloriousness. It's going to be easier for other people to see this than you. You're hard on yourself, Sagittarius. The 3 of Cups. I see the 3 of Cups in a very interesting way. And it doesn't matter who I'm reading for myself, for somebody else. The 3 of Cups is always remembering those people that we have trusted, those people that we have raised our glasses with, those people that we have given power to, that have betrayed us, that have hurt us, that have devastated us. The 3 of Cups is saying here, there's a pain. And there's a pain that comes in trusting. But it is also remembering the people that have stood by you, the people that are in your corner, the people that we usually overlook. Now, if you're saying, Dane, I don't have those people in my life, it is remembering your angels, and it's remembering your spirit guides, and it's knowing that you and them are moving forward towards something grand. And then you have the 2 of Wands. Now you have the repeat of the number 2 3 times. This is a divine message, right? This is a divine message of, because here with the 2 of Wands you have the god Janus, and this is the god whose name is given to January, and this is looking at the beginnings and the ends, the portals, the gateways through. And you're going to be seeing that here in the public arena as you turn inward. The gateways forward really start to show themselves, really start to empower you, give you an idea of where you're going and what you're working towards. It's also counting down from a 3, there we go, to a 2. And that's interesting. Okay, let's look at the people you are to be mindful. Who are going to aid you. There we go. Who are the people who are going to aid Sagittarius? September 16th to 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. Who are the people who are going to aid Sagittarius? September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. Fantastic. 4, that's always beautiful. Now we will look at the people you need to be mindful of later on. But note with these people who will aid you and who you have to be mindful of, they may not be people that you know in real life. They may be people who inspire you in a very profound way, in the way that the cards kind of show, in the personage that they represent. And you may never know their sign, but you will know this energy. So we have the Queen of Wands, it's the fire sign energy, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius. Because this is your own energy, this person really speaks in a way that you speak, in a way that you think, in a way that you understand. And they light that fire within you. They guide you forward. This is also a person who's not afraid to roll up their sleeves. Is not afraid to get into the nitty-gritty of things. This can be emotionally, this can be personally, this could be, this could be as they work towards their goals. This is going to be an aspect of them that you really admire, that you can see the legwork that they do. You can see the time, the effort, the determination that they put into things. And this is going to inspire you to embrace this queenliness, this power, this understanding, this grace of moving forward. And as you do so, you have here the Prince of Pentacles. The Prince of Pentacles is an earth sign energy, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. This is a person who is absolutely determined. This is the Knight's energy. In this deck, they are called princes. And the Knight's energy is stubborn, dedicated, is going to fight for what they believe in and what they want. This is a person who moves forward slowly. They have the long plan, they have the long-term goals really worked out. And they know where they want to end up. And they will work their tush off in order to get there. And they're going to show you how, or maybe not show you, like in, Sagittarius, I'm going to show you this, but in a kind of leading by example way of showing how to really get yourself moving to the place that you need to be, moving in the direction that you desire. It's slow go, okay? Because when you plant, when you're planting seeds into the ground, it takes time for them to grow, and not all the seeds take. So it is slow go, and sometimes it doesn't yield the harvest right away that you had expected. There's a sense of looking at things differently, kind of saying, okay, well, where do I need to tweak this? How do I need to look at this? And it then leads you to the Strength card. This is a Leo energy. This is a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. This is strength through kindness. Okay, you are going to be very off-put by people who are strong through brute force. They're like, this is what you're going to do, this is what you need to do, and that's it, just do it this way. And you're going to sit there and look at them and be like, why? Why? And no, thank you. This is strength through kindness of heart, compassion of soul, through love, through understanding, through compassion. And this is a strength that really speaks to you. And this person, physically, you might look at them and not think that they were strong at all, but they have this inner strength to them that is quite profound and quite astounding. It then leads you to the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd. This is a person who you cannot tell them how to love. They love fully, deeply, and honestly. All right? Their hearts. And if they don't, it's kind of like, if they don't do this, if they go against the natural grain of themselves, you can feel it about their personage. This is a sense of loving truly. And this is a sense of saying, this is me. I will not be ashamed. I will not hide away. This is who I am. And this is where I desire being in my life. It leads you with this love, with this determination, with this strength of character and fire of self. It leads you to the King of Coins. The King of Coins, this Pentacles energy, is about planting the seeds, is about seeing the connections, and you feel very comfortable, Sagittarius, with earth sign energy, because think of the fire of the core of the earth. Think of the fire of the sun that warms the earth, that makes it hospitable. If we were closer or further away from the sun, the Goldilocks, perfectness would not be there. So here, there is this sense of understanding. There's this sense of seeing the connections and having your passion guide you forward. There is a sense here of getting excited about the prosperity that you have planted and the way that you are nurturing it. This is long-term goals, okay? The King of Pentacles doesn't look at the right now the way the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands does. The King of Pentacles looks more at the long-term goals, says if you want the results, if you want the beauty, the prosperity, the bounty, then you have to put in the work. And it is that precise work. It's kind of like the measuring, the laying everything out. And it might be a little bit different, okay, for you, Sagittarius, because earth sign energy can move very, very slowly. And you can be a bit frustrated, because we can see that here. You can be a bit frustrated with how slowly it is moving. And the people who have, come in your way kind of have made you doubt yourself, made you fear the way that you are moving forward. But here, you are a ruler of your truth. And you are the king of your destiny. You are really looking at this. You are really being honest with yourself. And you're saying, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. And you're seeing the connections to move you forward towards more. Because there is more out there for you than you have realized. And it leads you to a blazing of your soul and a coming together and a consecration, of your inner self. And here we have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor here is King Arthur. These are all represented in the coolest thing with these cards. All the 78 cards are represented by a different lore, a different myth, a different story. And to me, that is beyond the realms of exquisite. So here we have King Arthur, and I do not know every single one of the cards. But with King Arthur, there is a strength, there is a determination, there is a stumbling into your power and being hidden away from it for some time. There's also a humanity. There is a sense of, if you read the Arthurian legends, sometimes, and especially if you see how he progresses, he messes up. He makes mistakes. He lets his temper get the best of him. He has a wise sage of Merlin as his guide forward, but that sage gets trapped. And so there is the sense here of a deeper knowledge, a deeper understanding, a deeper moving towards your truth. And what I love about the Emperor card is I always see this as a bridge in our humanity, okay, in our understanding of things. So a positive emperor. Now, a negative emperor is like Nero, who plays his fiddle as Rome burns, right? A positive emperor, a positive Aries sign is, or just the embracing of this energy, is like King Arthur, but also very much like King David. And that is a story that, and a lore and a truth that we sit there and we look at, and we see this man who messes up, and yet he is honored in the Old Testament, in the Torah. And so, yes, he has messed up. Yes, he has made mistakes, but he tries. He calls himself out. He sees things going wrong and says, what can I do? How can I be better? And he changes his ways. And he has this astounding relationship with divinity, which I see here as what we are trying to create. We are trying to create this astounding relationship with divinity, with the divine part of ourselves, and with that divine power to move us forward, to move us to more. And so here it is that bridge between the old pantheons, okay? And let's just use the Greek pantheons as an example, and how cruel and human the gods were. They had superhuman powers, but they took offense quite easily, and they were angry, and they were jealous. And then you have Christ, who doesn't get angry, doesn't get jealous. And if he does, he still makes it all up at the end for dying for everyone. So there's this huge gap in the consciousness of us as human beings. And we have this huge way of being, if you look at it in our lives. We can be selfish and self-centered, and then we can be selfless, all right, to the point that we give all. But we vacillate. We're neither one or another. And that's the bridge right here with the Emperor. That is the bridge. And it is the understanding that we are more, and that we can connect to something beautiful, to something timeless, to something extraordinary. And that we are not defined by being human and making mistakes. And so we should not judge ourselves so harshly as to think there's no beauty left for us in this world. And there is a power to you. There is a force, there is a dedication, there is a discernment. And as you are moving forward, you're going to feel yourself overwhelmed. Here she has 2 children in her hands. One, the top of a toddler, the bottom of a bear, and the other, the bear cup, and the bottom of a baby. And so it's overwhelming. How do you handle this? What do you do? That's what the 2 of Pentacles is. It's an overwhelming juggling. It's like, how do I handle this? How do I move forward? What do I do? And you're trying to juggle everything. And you're trying to figure everything out. It's a new world. It's a new understanding. But you forget to balance yourself. You forget to center you. And that makes the juggling all the harder. Because if you do not have a firm foundation, how can you handle the chaos that comes your way? This is looking at prosperity. This is looking at your bounty. And you want to do everything for everybody else. You do. You have the 2s come in. Okay, you want to heal things. You want to create. You want to move forward in love and acceptance and beauty, kindness. But the bitterness of the world also comes in. It's like, I've tried and I fail. I trust the wrong people. I've made mistakes. What is wrong with me? Brings us right back to the Emperor. Nothing is wrong with you. We're learning. And so instead of looking at the 3 cups that are spilt, the 3 cups of betrayal, we turn around and we see the 2 of cups. We see love, we see kindness, we see compassion, we see grace. And yet, for us as human beings, it's so much easier to see the negative, to see how we have failed, to see how everything has fallen apart, to see the sorrow and the despair and the despondency. Turn around. You have healing love behind you. You have the Minor Arcana Lover's card, waiting for you to realize that they are there. It leads you to the sun. It's just the Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun, starts playing in my head. And it's like your hard work has led you to the sun, has led you to the glory of the heart, has led you to this passion, this power, this beauty, this grace, this understanding. And it opens up doors, right? The sun opens up doors because you can see things so much more clearly. That is why we like the day to the night, or why we invented lights, because if not, you have to go to sleep or stumble around in the dark. So here, with the sun, there is a beautiful understanding. There is a light, there is a hope, there is a truth. And there is a brilliance to your heart, your soul, and yourself. Others see this, okay? Others will see a radiance to your being. It's going to be easier for them to see than it will be for you, because you will sit there and say, oh, well, that's nice. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, fine. But look at everything that I still have to do. Look at everything that I still have to overcome. Look at everything that still needs work. Learn to celebrate. Learn to celebrate you, your passion, your glory, your brilliance. Take in the light of the sun and let it warm you. Let it guide you. Others will be jealous. Whenever you have the sun, it's kind of like a spotlight on a person. People pick them apart. We see it in the media all the time, you know? And so here, there is this sense of, as this light shines on you, as this beauty is a part of you, people say, well, why not me? Why you? And so they'll try to cut you down. They will. They'll point out everything that you do wrong. They're going to hit you places emotionally that hurt. Okay, that's going to be their go-to. So it can be like snide little comments. Oh, you're not really working hard enough. Oh, you're not really doing this. Things that make you think that you are not enough. Right? To combat this, know that you are enough. That in this moment, in this time, you are enough. Even if there's so much to be overcome, you are still enough. The light shines brightly on you. It is warming your heart. It is igniting your soul. This is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. You have it crowning your heart. And then we have the 7 of Coins. Be patient. Be patient. Because you're going to want things kind of yesterday, as we all do as human beings. We sit there and we have this idea, we have this desire, and then we say, why aren't I there? Why didn't I accomplish it? Why didn't I accomplish it? Why haven't I moved forward? So we get harsh with ourselves. We get angry with ourselves. The 7 of Coins leading to the 9 of Cups, says, be patient. There's a brilliance to you. There's a glory to you. There's a radiance to you. This is saying that things happen in divine time, not our time, which is inconvenient and a heck of an annoying trait for life to have. So with the 7 of Coins, know that you are embracing patience, truth, and divine guidance. Things will not work out the exact way that you had envisioned them. Things always work out a bit differently and take us on, trips and ways of looking at things that are just astounding. It's like, well, I never thought of this, and oh my gosh, I never thought of that. And so here, with the 7 of Coins, be patient. Be patient, because yes, you can have it happen in your time. It will just not be as sweet. It's kind of like, okay, I love corn. So it's kind of like cooking corn. And I never knew that people put sugar in the corn water, but some people do. And that's totally cool if you do. But it makes the corn sweet without the corn actually having to be sweet. It's kind of like taking fruit that isn't ripe, cutting it all up, and putting sugar on it. So it is sweet because you made it sweet, not because it actually is. And it's not as satisfying. So here, with the 7 of Coins, let things ripen. Let things move forward in a natural way. And you might say, well, I'll never get to where it is that I envision myself being. Maybe you're not supposed to be walking that way. Maybe that's not part of your truth. Maybe let the doors open in different directions. Maybe saying, divinity, where will you take me? And how will I move forward? It's a beautiful journey that you're meant to be on. Because you're healing your heart, your soul, and yourself. The story of Gilgamesh. Absolutely beautiful. You have this love coming in. This beauty coming in. This healing, this sense of power. This beautiful truth. The Minor Arcana Lover's card. It's a love that heals. It is a love that moves you forward. It's a love that strengthens you. It's a love that balances you. And it raises you up. It brings you on a journey. It's a resurrection of soul and power and grace and self. It is a beauty. And it is your beauty. It is your truth. And it is your power. Judgment is here. And we always judge our hearts, our souls, ourselves. This is the angels looking at you. And this is your spirit guides seeing you. And this is you moving towards peace. And I'm going to sneeze. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And as you move forward, it hits you just like a sneeze. Just like that. And it's like, oh my goodness. And you see a path that you hadn't expected. You see yourself moving forward in a way you hadn't anticipated. You see your angels guiding you to a place that fits. A resurrection of soul and power and self and grace. And as you are resurrected, as this judgment comes in, as these paths open up to you, as wisdom and the heart of living becomes clear, it moves you to the Hermit, Now you have the repeat of the number 9 here. Hermit is the 9th card in the major arcana, and then you have the 9 of Cups. You're coming very close to a completion of a cycle. The Hermit is saying that in the public arena, you are very private, okay? People might even say, oh, Sagittarius, why are you being so secretive? You're not being secretive. You have beauty, you have goals, okay? You have this very determined, and you have this divine wisdom shining down on you. You have this very determined, dedication to where you want to be. And you're connecting. You're seeing things openly and honestly and truthfully and peacefully. And you are moving forward. And the divine is guiding you. In the public arena, when you bring the divine into things, when you bring, spiritual awakenings and, your angels moving you forward into things, people sit there and they're like, oh, that's weird. And it's like, oh, okay. So if I just follow the trends of everybody else and I let this celebrity tell me who to be and I let this person tell me how to think, that's cool. That's totally normal. But if I want more from life, that's odd. Why? Have we become so disconnected? Have we lost so much? And that's where you're turning in, Sagittarius. You're turning into what others have lost. You're finding a majesty, a beauty, a power. And people won't get it. They'll be like, Sagittarius, what's wrong with you? Come on. And you're going to sit there. It's going to be, no. I need to follow this truth, this power, this grace, this honesty, this openness, this determination of self. And it leads you. It leads you to so much more. It's like the Hermit says, quiet world. Quiet world. It's time for me to look at me. And as you quiet the world, there is a radiance to you that comes forward. A beauty, a light, a love, a grace, a desire, a brilliance, and you don't see it. But this is wishes granted. This is joys coming in. And you're going to sit there and think, no, I'm going to wait for the other shoe to drop. I have to look towards the future and towards the past, and I can't be in the present. And this is saying, no, stop. Be in the present. And see it as the present, as the most beautiful gift. Because as you embrace it, and as you are graced by it, it graces and embraces you. It moves you forward. And it leads you to a greater strength and understanding. It leads you to a greater place. The 9 of Cups is beauty coming in, is a peace to the self, a centering of the soul. And it leads you to the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups, as I said, I see the 3 of Cups multifacetedly. And so, on the positive side, it's those people who celebrate us. And it's usually the people we take for granted. It's like, oh, they'll always be there, who cares? Type of thing. And yet, those people who are always in our corner, we should celebrate them more. And we know this with the people who we're their person in their life. We're always there for them, right? And they overlook us. And it's like, no more. Let's stop that. The 3 of Cups is that celebration, is that truth, is that brilliance, is that love. But the 3 of Cups, for me also, it is that person who's supposed to be in our corner. It was that person who was supposed to love us, supposed to be there for us. It could have been a best friend growing up, okay? It could have been a lover. But it could also have been a parent, a teacher, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, who were supposed to keep us safe, who were supposed to be there, and they just couldn't be. And they caused wounds that perpetuate their own wounds, their own hurts, their own inadequacies. And the 3 of Cups is being gun-shy. It's like, well, why would I love again? Why would I trust again? How do I know this will not happen to me? Or this will not happen to me again. And there are no assurities. And that's what's so terrifying, right? There are no assurities. That the person won't be such a good chameleon that they won't hurt us again. But it is a reliance on our inner selves. It is a reliance on those who have proven themselves to us, but also on our angels, our spirit guides, our grace of understanding, to say, there is more out there, and there is more to us than you could possibly imagine. It is a moving forward in that truth, in that glory, and in that being, And is saying, I'm wiser and I'm stronger than even I myself know. And it leads you to the Two of Wands. It leads you to the world opening up for you. It leads you to seeing things more vastly, more openly, more honestly, to having a bridge that is a gap from this world to the next world, to the future, to the world yet created. But this is also with the god Janus. This is the god of January, okay? January got its name from this god. And he ushers in a new year as we look at the old year. But it is also having that pull towards the future and the past, the portals to both doors being opened, and sitting there and wanting to go back to either relive something beautiful or change things that happened that we can't change, or towards a future that is so much better than the present because it hasn't happened yet and it could be absolutely perfect. And this is learning to be here in the now as we hold the world and as we see. But we also see the wisdom that we have gained from living, from our past. And we see the vastness of the future before us. And it gives us an understanding. It gives us a power. Let's go deeper. Sagittarius. September 16th to the 30th, Sagittarius. September 16th to the 30th, Sagittarius. Show me more deeply. Show me more deeply. September 16th to the 30th, Sagittarius. September 16th to the 30th, Sagittarius. Show me more deeply. Show me more deeply. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. And let's see the people you are to be mindful of during this time. Sagittarius. September 16th to the 30th, Sagittarius. Who is Sagittarius to be mindful of? September 16th to the 30th, Sagittarius. Who is Sagittarius to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic, these three. We have right here the moon. This is a Pisces energy. Time frame for February 19th to March 20th. This is fear. Now this is either a person who builds this fear within us, who either we're listening to because they are talking about things that we're really anxious about, and with the state of the world, that can be a lot of things. It could be having to turn off the news. It could be having to stop. Just stop altogether and say, okay, I need to focus on me. And you might have the feeling, Sagittarius, that's like totally selfish. You might sit there and think, oh no, that's wrong. It's not wrong. It's not wrong, because if you wear yourself down with worry and fear and doubt and everything, then how do you move forward? This can just be somebody who is very afraid, who lets their fear get the best of them. And this is also knowing that fear is a part of life. And it's kind of like, once you know that everybody gets afraid, and fear is what kept our ancestors alive, but the world has changed, and the world has changed tremendously in a very short period of time. I was raised by my mom, my grandma, and my great-grandma, right? And the world that my great-grandma grew up in, she took a boat from Italy to come to this country, and the world that she lived in is so different than the world of today. And yet I knew her. And that's what we are seeing here. And it's not even just that difference. It's a difference of how many thousands upon thousands of years were we hunters-gatherers. Did we have to have fear to keep us alive? To say, oh no, don't go that way. You could get eaten by an animal. Don't eat that food. It causes terrible, it'll make you die terribly of stomach cramps and everything like that. And so here, it's knowing that fear, that primal fear, is a part of us. And there was so much more to fear, even just when my great-grandmother was alive, than there is today. So many more variables. And now the fear has transmutated itself. It leads to social anxiety. It leads to all this stuff. And it leads to our heads becoming too crazy, becoming too much. And this is not feeding that fear, but saying, okay, I see you. I understand you. But you don't get to own me or rule me. And that is going to be something very powerful. Spirit is showing me, when I was growing up, I went outside to walk the dog, right? Our dogs. And in the woods, I saw this big white puff. And for some reason, my head just said wolf. And I'm looking at the wolf and then the dog here. And it just said wolf, like, don't go outside, there's a wolf. There wasn't a wolf, it was a deer. But it's that primordial fear. It's that ancient fear that is a part of us. It's like, be careful. That way lays a wolf. But there's not. So it's centering ourselves again. And it's not giving in to fear mongers. It's not sitting there and letting them have that power over ourselves. Because fear sells. Fear sells really, really well. Fear and sex, they sell great. Right? And it's not buying into the lies that people are selling. It's being prepared, yes. But it's being centered and true. To you. And it's remembering that you matter. Then we have the High Priest. The High Priest is Taurus energy, okay, April 20th to May 20th. This is somebody who is like a bull in a china shop. Stubborn, 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 stubborn. You're going to sit there and be like, oh, well, why don't we try it like this? And they're going to go, no. And you're going to get very frustrated. This Taurus energy, what's very interesting with Taurians is they can be astoundingly stubborn, right? I have a lot of Taurians in my life, and I think they're awesome. But when they get very stubborn, it usually comes from a place where they get too afraid, okay? And that brings us back to the fear that we're seeing here. And they love too passionately, too much. They have this sensuality that they cover with a very gruff exterior. And so, or at times, a very gruff exterior. And so here, it's like somebody who is trying to control what cannot be controlled. And it's a stepping back from that. And it's a knowing that sometimes things just have to happen. They just have to evolve. And we can't know how. We can't know why. But it just simply has to be. And it leads us then to the Princess of Cups. Now this is completely different. Like this person, this Taurus energy, okay, or this person who is exhibiting this Taurus energy will get scared and will kind of like want to fight through it. It's just like push ahead, just go. The Princess of Cups will absolutely just let it become a part of her. She's too emotional. She's actually just a little bit too much. It's kind of like a teenage girl, at times where they get just too much. Or if you remember being a teenage girl, it's just when you're sitting there, you're like, oh my gosh, it's not that big a deal. Step back. And so here, with the Princess of Cups, it's somebody who's too emotional, who can, just get too hysterical about things. And you're sitting there and you want to help, but you're sitting there, you're like, okay, let's do this logically. But they're not going to be operating in logic. They're just not. They're going to be operating in this place of like emotional chaos. You don't want to be a part of that, Sagittarius, because you're going to want to help. And it's just kind of like you have to let it play out. You have you crowning you. Oh, I love it. Over the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, there's you, followed by the Strength card. So you have Temperance right here, Strength, which is a Leo energy, July 23rd to August 22nd. And then we have the Devil card. So your inner self, as we go deeper, this is astoundingly powerful. Okay, this is all major arcana. So these are the heavy hitters. These are the ones that, come at us with power and force. So there's a balance that you are embracing. There's a strength, and there's a need for kindness and a need for strength as you break ties of addictions, of doubts, of fears, of negativity. And as you follow your truth and plant your seeds, this earthly plane. Then we have the Death card, the dying away of the old self, rebirth of the new. Scorpio energy, October 23rd to November 21st. The King of Wands, this is you coming through as a king, okay, in this line right here. And this is, and of course amplifying also Leo. And then you have the Knight of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, fighting for the truth that you know, what you are seeing, what you are comprehending. We have the Star, Aquarius energy. Time frame, January 20th to February 18th. The Seven of Wands. A sense of not fighting every fight because it's just not going to be worth it. It just isn't. It's knowing where you stand and what you stand for. But it's also letting some things go. And then we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is having the veil lifted from in front of your eyes. Seeing behind the masks that people wear. Seeing the truth. This is a connection. And I love that you are crowned with the Hermit here. And then in the main part of the reading, and then as we go deeper, you're rooted by the High Priestess. Those two are a beautiful couple. They pair so well. And this is greater truth. This is also greater mysteries coming your way. Divinity speaks in rhymes and riddles and always has and always will. Because it is our path and it is our purpose to interpret, to understand, to fall, to stumble, and to see. And so here, with you, Sagittarius, there's a balance. There's a balance of the day and the night, of the power and the grace of self. You have the masculine and you have the feminine coming forward. You have the cup of silver and the cup of gold, the day and the night coming forward. And you are balancing it. The cups, you're pouring them into each other. This is you at your best, okay? You at your best is balance, temperance, peace, understanding, harmony. The waters stay within. They don't flow out. Aquarius, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, pours the waters into the sea. You keep the waters inside, guiding you, showing you, digging deeper towards your truth and your power. And Sagittarius, that's what you're doing. You're digging deeper towards where you stand and what you stand for and where you're going and what you desire. And there needs to be a balance within yourself as you take your power, as you know your truth, as you see your worth, as you know your strength. It leads you to the Strength card. It leads you to determination. It leads you to an understanding. It leads you to kindness. But it also leads you to realizing that you are a heck of a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. It leads you to looking at your life. And a lot of what seems to be overwhelming is, Spirit is saying a lot of it is because you're biting off too much. Or you're doing what the world says. Okay, this is what success looks like. You can't do it all? You feel like a failure? Oh my gosh. Buy this, you'll feel happier. Do this, you'll feel better. And it's like, no. What you need to do is you need to prioritize and say, what is right for me? Not what's right for the rest of the world. What is right for me? Because the strength here, and that's where the hurt comes from, because you have the devil right here. And the devil, for me, is this temptation, right? This temptation of everything that is being sold, everything that we're being told we need to do, every which way that we're being told, okay, well, if you're going to be a good whatever, parent, oh my gosh, parent shaming is huge. If you're going to be a good parent, if you're going to be a good student, if you're going to be a good person in humanity, just at large, you have to live up to these unrealistic expectations. And you're having the strength right here to conquer those demons and say, not today and not ever. You are breaking chains. You are realizing that you can balance you as you see how strong you are. But it's not going to be the conventional strength. It's not going to be the bodybuilder strength. It's not going to be the strength that, you sit there and you're like, wow, that was a story that is so unbelievable that it's like not relatable, but also awe-inspiring. The devil tempts us and pulls us away. Now, this is Capricorn energy. Now, I see this December 22nd, of course, to January 19th. I see this energy as And I always thought that it's kind of rude that Capricorn got the devil. But it's people, Capricorns can be astoundingly grounded in this world. Astoundingly truthful, honest, see the temptations of what, is being sold to them, and say, no, I'm not buying those lies. Thank you very much. Or they can get totally caught up into it. And they can sit there and say, how do you know if you like you, if everybody doesn't tell you? And they only care about the surface. And this is the pull of the devil card. You can go one or two ways. And here, it is a seeing of your truth. It's a seeing of what has held you back. What are you addicted to? It could be, the normal, the quote-unquote normal addictions of alcohol and drugs and gambling that can be expanded to then food and shopping and sex and, a myriad of other things. But it's also what is decreasing the value of your life and yourself. What is making you feel like a failure and taking away from your beauty? Is that putting too much on your plate? Is that wanting to be, Wonder Woman or Superman? It's saying, no, I won't be able to do everything to everybody's standards, but I will do them as I need to in my life. And I will step back and I will give myself time to breathe and not to always look at what I'm not doing, but look at the love and the beauty that is around me. That leads you to the Death card. As the patience comes and as the beauty comes in and the light shines in on you, you have the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. It can feel painful. It can feel aggravating. But you have that power coming forward. And it's a transmutating transformation. It is a beautiful power. It is sitting there and knowing that we will never be the person we were even yesterday. That person is gone. We are new today. And what does that show us? What does that tell us? What is that for us? And the Death card, with this dying away of the old self, this rebirth of the new, is us forever rising from the ashes. And I know people sit there and say, Dana, I'm tired of rising from the ashes. But remember, those ashes are the ashes of sleep. Those ashes are simply the past that we walk away from. Because to be truly healthy, we have to. Spirit is showing me a forest. And so, forest fires, bad, right? And when they get out of hand, most definitely. But a fire also cleans out the underbrush. And that's why in national parks and in places they have controlled fires. Because it's the best thing for the land. And that's what we're seeing here for us. It's that controlled burning away. That controlled fire. Heat of the sun. Patience of our truth. That leads to our rebirth. It brings you to being a king. King of Wands. As healing love comes in. Love, honor, and respect. You're not afraid to roll up your sleeves. You're not afraid to go after what it is that you desire. You are truthful. You are open. You are dedicated. You are determined. The King of Wands is that truth for you. It is you coming through. During this time, you are king. You can see that here with the King of Coins and the Emperor. Okay, we can see that here now with you and the King of Wands. You are king. Embrace that kingliness. It will lead to frustrations. Okay, kings do not get to move as easily around the board as others do. Okay, or as queens do. If you think of chess, you think of the king. It is also saying responsibilities get placed upon your shoulders. Okay? You are looking at a greater picture, a greater truth. You are passionate, you are determined, you are dedicated, you are stubborn. You are embracing your reason for getting out of bed in the morning. And you're saying, this is me. And it is powerful. It leads you to the Knight of Swords. As you have this resurrection of self, as you have the angels grace you, as you rise up, as you see truth, and as you see healing and peace and understanding, you fight. And I know that sounds counterproductive, but you sit there and say, this is where I want to be. This is the grace that I want to move forward in, and I will fight to keep it. Now, the Knight of Swords can be very rash, and you don't want to be. Right? You want things kind of more laid out. That's going to be better for you. But with your heart, once you know your truth, you're going to see that you fly forward. You're going to see that you just go for it. And it is astounding, and it is beautiful, and it can be terrifying, but it is yours. And so as you have this balance come in, you have your power moving you forward. You have yourself understanding what you want more and more than you had before. You cut through the doubts and the fears. You know where it is that you want to stand. And all of a sudden, you start to become your own white knight. You know, the hero of the tale, the Prince Charming steed. And that's what you ride forward in. That's what you're graced by. It leads you to the star. And I love the way this unicorn is depicted. I love unicorns, which I know, right? So typical. And The Last Unicorn is one of my all-time favorite books. And also movies. And so here with the star, it's like wonderment coming forward. It's awing. It's grace, it's beauty, it's understanding, it's brilliance. And it's like, wow. And that's what you're doing. It's wow. It's pouring the waters into the sea. You have the waters here that are contained. You are reborn. And you flow outward. Touching so much more. Experiencing so much more. Bringing so much more into your life than originally thought. This is Aquarius energy. A time frame of January 20th to February 18th. This is a sense of beauty being a part of you. This is a sense of divinity hearing your wishes. Not when we cross our fingers and say, oh, I wish for, a new watch or a new phone or something like that. But this is our soul's wish. I wish to be happy. I wish to be safe. I wish to be secure. And it's slowly and steadily weaving those wishes around us, bringing us what we desire as we turn inward and as we radiate love, beauty, and kindness. And then brings us to the Seven of Wands. Because of the hurt from the Three of Cups, we are going to want to kind of fight every battle. It's like, I will not be hurt again. I will not. I will not let my guard down. But here is saying stop. Stand in your truth, most definitely. Don't be a rug, Don't lay down and have people walk all over you. But know when to fight and know when to walk away. Know when to move forward towards what you want. And know when some people, they'll never understand. The Seven of Wands is wisdom. The Seven of Wands is a grace of self. It is really quite beautiful. And it's power. And we see that here with strength and with you as the king. So your greatest strength here, as you rule your existence, as you rule your passion, your power, your desire, is to know when to fight and when to pay the person no mind. When to sit there and say, no. It's kind of like RuPaul. If you've been paying my bills, pay you no mind. It's like, no. You don't get to have a say in my life, in myself, in my soul. And it leads you to the High Priestess. It leads you to wisdom. As the past and the future come together, as the doorways open, you see, but kind of with the eyes of a prophet, which is overwhelming. Yes, most definitely. But think of it. Think of seeing openly and honestly, but knowing that God comes to you in riddles. Divinity comes to you in riddles. And not always being able to decode them as quickly as you would like to. It's about seeing honesty, openness, truth. It's about seeing so much more. It's about seeing behind the masks of others. The facade that people wear in this outside world. And saying, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the lies that you're selling. I'm not interested in that form of reality. I want the truth. And so, just like the Hermit, it makes you more closed off. from the world. It makes you different. It does not make you bad. And that's going to be something that you need to understand, Sagittarius, as you're moving forward. Different is not bad. And you might see this gift of the High Priestess as a bit of a curse. Because there's a seeing, there's a knowing, there's an understanding around you. You can always ask for the dial to be toned down. You can always ask divinity to kind of lighten up just a little bit. Because it depends on where you are in your journey, what you are ready for. And there's true power here. And don't think, oh, if I don't take it now, believe me, as somebody who has said no to a gift such as this, it does come back. And it does know when you are ready. And it doesn't leave. Wisdom. Wisdom is greatly yours during this time. Let's see what your spirit animals have to say. Sagittarius, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. All right, these three. We have right here the whale spirit. Trust the great mysteries. I love it. We're not supposed to know everything. And yet we want to. We want to sit there and say, I know it. I have the answers. We simply have a myriad of questions. Trust the great mysteries. Trust in the way that they move you forward. Trust in what you're seeking and what you desire. Trust in the mysteries. They'll lead you to unexpected beauty and unexpected bounty. Then we have the nightingale spirit. Love is all around. You might not always feel like it is, but love is all around you, guiding you, moving you forward. Now do know what your spirit animals, if you see these animals in the wild or you see an image of these animals, this is your angels, your spirit guides, your animal spirit guides, tapping you on the shoulder, saying, remember this message, Sagittarius. Then we have the rhino spirit. Overcome any obstacles. You're going to see, through trusting in the mysteries and knowing that love is all around you, you overcome any and all of the obstacles set before you. And you find yourself moving forward in a more profound and beautiful way. No longer held back, but centered. And you can find that centering, Sagittarius, in the oddest of ways. Okay? You can find it taking your dogs for a walk or going for a walk yourself. You can find it, deciding, hey, you know what, I'm going to try out one of those coloring books that everybody's talking about. You can find it in meditation. You can find it in baking. You can find it in a myriad of ways. But it helps you overcome those obstacles, the doubts, the fears, the negativity. It helps you stand in your truth and know what you desire. And know that that desiring is not wrong. It's not. Let's see your subconscious message. For your spirit animals, it is the owl spirit. You see clearly now. The owl spirit, very linked to the high priestess. You see clearly. You sometimes see too clearly. But it's powerful knowing. And it is an amazing truth that is guiding you. Your subconscious people message is the Hermit. It is the Hermit time for you. A time of turning inward. A time of being guided by the wishes and the desires and the light of the soul and of the self. A time of greater understanding. A time of inward contemplation. Your subconscious chakra message is soul healing. You are being healed. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above your crown. Healing light is coming down over you. You can feel it at times, tingling down your spine, warming you, centering you. Embrace this healing. Your subconscious tarot message is the Magician. Magic courses through you. The Magician is connecting with the God's head within, knowing the elemental power of this world and connecting with it, standing before the altar of your existence and saying, this is who I am, and this is what I desire for my life. You are embracing your magic. You're embracing your beauty. You aren't being held back. And there is going to be this pull. Subconsciously, you're going to want people to see. Consciously, you're going to be very, very, very private. So know there will be this push and this pull that kind of takes you out of what you're really comfortable with at times. But this is also a connection. Your connection with the elemental power of the universe, of yourself, of your soul, your fire, your determination, your passion for life, okay, your knowledge, your air, okay, earth, your grounding seeds, what you plant and what you reap and what you sow. And then we have water, how you feel, how you nourish yourself. The waters of your truth. There's magic there. Connect with it. Connecting with spirit. Connecting with the soul of it all. It raises you up. It empowers you. As above, so below, as you think it, so it becomes. During this time, your mind is astoundingly powerful. Watch what you think, and be careful what you wish for. This leads you to going deeper into your subconscious, to the 5 of Wands, battles. You're so used to battles, Sagittarius, that it's going to be odd not to have one. Don't fight. Don't fight the change that is coming. Don't fight the power that is leading you forward. The 5 of Wands. Accept. And release yourself from the chaos. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we step into the beauty of our existence, as we step into the beauty of our power, and as we embrace our truth. Take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Sagittarius.